Hello everyone, welcome to day 4. This is our final day of the Peekaboo Forest class to go. This is a class to go that I am featuring this week on my blog and YouTube channel. You can earn the supplies to make these cards. You can earn this class to go completely free with a minimum order of a $50 order in my online store with the host code. There are perks if you go up to $100 or $150 as well. So make sure to check out the details on how to get this class to go for free. Either in video number 1 or in the details of this class. So I am featuring the Peekaboo bundle. Like I said, this bundle has just been so much fun. I have so many ideas for this bundle. I have loved it so much. If you want to purchase this, it's available in my online store. This one doesn't have any greetings, so for today I'm bringing in the Thankful Garden stamp set, and we're going to use this with love and thanks greeting on here. So you will need to pick up some greetings for this card, for this to go with this, but you can look through your stuff and see what you have. All right, so on day 1 we made this fun slider card with a little bear pops his head up. He's so cute. So we made this on day 1. Day 2 we featured those little cute porcupines on this adorable little card. I love this one. Day 3 yesterday we made this super fun expanding tree card, this expanding Z-fold card, so fun. And today I have another fun interactive card. We are making a waterfall card. I've made a few of these in the past and they are so much fun. There's a little handle at the bottom here, and you're just going to pull that, and all those images just flip through, as well as a greeting. I just love it. I could play with this card all day long. So I'm going to show you how quick and easy this actually is. It looks super complicated, but it's not. I promise. It actually is very easy to make. And we're going to stick it onto a card base, so you'll have plenty of room to write inside. I will say that this is a much thicker card, and it's a little bit heavier because of all the cardstock. So if you're mailing this one, you are going to need to use some additional postage on that. All right, so our card details, our card pieces here. So we have our card base, which is 11 by 4 1/4, and I'm using soft seafoam, and I've scored it at 5 1/2. I have a piece of early espresso that is 5 1/4 by 4. This is actually not on my notes. I'm just realizing that, so I'm making sure my notes are correct. All right, and then I have some DSP here, and this DSP is from the Wildflower Birthday. And they are the soft seafoam pieces, and so I have 2 pieces of this. I have a piece that is 5 by 3 3/4, and then I have a piece that is 3 3/4 by 1. And I have an additional soft seafoam piece that is a 1 by 3 3/4 as well. And then this is our mechanism piece for the whole card. And this piece is, let me get this measurements correct. All the measurements will be in the video description too, so please don't worry about writing anything down. So this is 8 1/2 by 2 1/2, and I have scored it at 2 1/2, 3, 3 1/2, and 4. So let's get our bone folder out and give those a good burnish, and we'll put those other pieces aside for now. But let's burnish on all of these pieces. So they are 1/2 inch apart, starting at 2 1/2 and going to 4 inches. And this is what's going to make that waterfall piece happen. So it's going to kind of go like this. All right. I hope that makes sense. It'll make a lot more sense when it's on the card. So we have those pieces nice and burnished. Let's start pulling out the pieces to make our card, make our waterfall piece. So I have these 2 pieces, which are the same. We're going to come back to those in a second. I'm going to go ahead and adhere the bigger DSP piece to the early espresso piece. The back side of this is so gorgeous. It has some gold accents, so it's so hard to glue that down, but we have to. All right. Now I have the 3 3/4 inch piece. Now this is only going to go across the length of the DSP here, so not the length of the early espresso piece. I'm going to pull this in so you can kind of see what we're doing. I've camouflaged it with the DSP so you don't see this piece, but we are going to, I'm going to actually staple this piece on. Just like that. And I'm going maybe about 3/4 to 1 inch above from the bottom. And I'm going to use my little stapler. We're just going to staple these sides, just the very edges, just like this. Okay, because we want to leave that middle section open. And I've tried this with glue. But I have found that I prefer the staples because it's a stronger hold. So we didn't put anything on the inside here, so that piece is still open. But it's a stronger hold, and it's easier and it's quicker. You don't have to wait for glue to dry. All right, now we're going to take this additional DSP piece And we are just going to put that on top of this piece, and that's going to camouflage those staples so you never even know they're there. Okay, now to make our little waterfall piece work, we're going to slide this piece in. All of those score lines are on the front. So we're going to slide this piece in. We're just going to kind of maneuver it so that the edge of this piece is lining up with the edge of the kind of the brace piece that we just put down. This is going to go almost all the way to the top there. Just like that. So I'm actually going to go just a little bit below that edge piece. All right, so just kind of line it up where you want it. So you can see it's not quite all the way to the top here. This piece is hanging off just a little bit off that brace piece. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to put adhesive just along this piece here. And you'll want to use a strong adhesive here. And we're just going to glue that part down. So the only part of this waterfall piece that is adhered down to that brace piece that we stapled on. So the rest of this is going to move freely. Okay. All right. Now I have 4 pieces of early espresso. So I have 4 of these, and these are 2.5 by 2.5 inch pieces. So we're going to adhere these down. Now you can use, I'm going to use tear and tape actually, and you could use tear and tape to attach this piece to the brace too. That would work well, but I'm going to use tear and tape just so you can see kind of where I'm putting this. So I'm going to go through on all of between these score lines. There's going to be 3 different sections here. I'm going to put a piece of tear and tape between each of those sections. And then this bottom section down here, it's a 2.5 by 2.5 inch square. I'm going to put some adhesive on the bottom of that. Okay. And we are going to adhere these down one by one. So let me grab my scissors so we can peel off this tear and tape. Again, you just want to use a strong adhesive. You can use liquid glue or Stampin' Seal Plus, just whatever strong adhesive. So I'm going to take my first one. This one's going to go right below the score line, and I know that the camera is not going to pick that up too well because these are such light colors, but we're just going right below the score line. So I hope you can see that there. So right below the score line, it's just going to glue onto the front there. All right, now we're going to peel off the second layer here. And we're going to grab our next piece, and this one's going to go right below the next score line. Just lining everything up right below the next score line. So just like that. And so these are not adhered together. We're just going below each score line, okay? And then the next one, and the same thing, just right below that score line. Just make sure it's laying nice and flat. That'll help you out. Just like that, okay? Perfect. And then our last one, we're gonna peel that backing off as well. And this one is going to go right up against the fold there, just right to the top. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay. I hope that makes sense. And so when we pull the bottom here, those pieces are all going to just flip back and forth. You see how cool that is? And it wasn't very hard at all. Just a little bit of trimming and just a strategic gluing. Now I'm going to pull this all the way down because we're going to add a little bit of a ribbon pull down here. And that's going to make it easier to to open and close this if there's a little ribbon to grab onto. So these are new in our online exclusive launch. These are the hole punch assortment, I think is what it's called. So you get a little 1/8 of an inch hole punch, you get the slit, and then you get kind of this little tag punch. I'm going to use this tag one, but the slit one would work as well. I think the ribbon we're using, that little 1/8 punch, would be a little bit too small. I'm just going to eyeball center, and we're going maybe like 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch from the bottom, just like that. Okay. If you want to precisely mark center so that you get it correct, you can do that. I'm not too worried about that. We have some new ribbon here. This is just new white, I think it's 1/4 inch ribbon. I'm just going to take a little piece of this, maybe like 2 inches, not a lot. We don't need a lot of this one. And I am going to grab a little clothespin. This is going to help me tie my ribbon. So I'm just going to put this through our little slit. Just kind of make sure that it's nice and even. And I'm going to use the clothespin down here, just kind of hold that in place, just like that. So we can come in. I'm going to grab my Natural Tones linen thread. I'm going to grab the Night of Navy one here, this blue one. The green one would also work too, I think. You could also definitely use that. I'm just going to cut a piece of this off. You can do it tied to the spool if you want. And we are just going to tie right above that little clothespin. Now you don't have to do the clothespin trick. I think that the clothespin really, it holds it in place. So it's not kind of running around. I don't have to chase it around. But we're just going to tie a little bow, and I cut a lot of this, but that's okay. The green would also look really pretty. Okay, so take the clothespin off now that that's nice and tied. And then we can just maneuver our bow just a little bit. Perfect. Just like that. And we'll just trim these edges off. And this will just help indicate to your recipient, whoever you're giving this card to, that they need to pull that down. Okay. And it's going to be easier to grab too. You can just grab that ribbon and give it a pull. So cute, right? All right, let's get this piece onto our card base. I get some nice strong adhesive. I'm going to go right next to those staples to make sure everything gets glued down. Onto the card base, make sure you put it on right side up. I've done that before. All right, now let's work on our little squares. So I have 4 pieces of balmy blue, because we're gonna need 4 of them. We're gonna actually stamp our greeting on one of them. So I'm gonna pull one of them aside. And then I cut out of soft seafoam as well. I've cut 4 little grassy borders here. These balmy blue pieces are 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. So these are 2 1/4 by like 3/4 of an inch, and I just cut those little pieces. So I'm gonna actually go with this one because it's the shortest one. And I'm gonna glue my little grassy layer onto the bottom first for our greeting. Oops, and these are long. I'm gonna have to trim these. So that's okay, we'll just trim this off just like that. Okay, so let's stamp our greeting. So if we pull this to our 3rd panel here, we're going to get our greeting here, and that's from that Thankful Garden bundle. So I'm going to start with my bigger greeting in balmy blue. This says, "With love." And I'll just stamp that right in the center there. Oh, and I just stuck my whole finger in that balmy blue ink. Hello. Gracious. You know, always something, right? And then I'm going to take the "and thanks," and we're just going to kind of overlap that a little bit. And this is in Misty Moonlight. You can also do this in Night of Navy. That would be fine. Or even Early Espresso. That would be fine too. Okay. Put those aside. And we are nearly there. We just have our little animals to deal with now. Okay. So we have our little raccoon. I've already done him. We've colored him yesterday. So I'm not going to color him again. We have our little hedgehog. Now or porcupine, whatever you want to call it. I've already colored him too. You watched me do that on Tuesday, so I'm not going to color him. I just reversed the colors. So instead of pecan pie for his face, I used crumb cake for his face. And instead of crumb cake for his little quills, I used pecan pie. So just reverse those colors. And then for our bear, I have him stamped. We're going to color him real quick. Because the first day that we used the bear, we just stamped him on some colored cardstock. So let's color him real quick. He is colored pretty much identical to the raccoon. So we're gonna do some bubble bath for his ears. You could also, if you don't have bubble bath, you could use Pretty in Pink. You could use Flirty Flamingo. You could even use like Calypso Coral in a pinch. So go ahead and just do whatever you need to do for his little snout, or for his ears. For his little snout though, I'm gonna use some dark crumb cake. We're not gonna do any blending on this. I'm just gonna go in with my dark crumb cake and just color that little snout. Now, if you want to make him a lighter colored bear, maybe he needs to be a polar bear, or maybe he needs to be a gray bear. I mean, do this with those colors as well. All right, my light pecan pie, I'm going to color his little paws. And again, I'm going to go down his body just a little bit because that will show. And then we'll just go around the top of his ears, go around the snout. Again, I cannot color and talk at the same time. If you haven't yet, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button on YouTube, because that will ensure that you never miss a video. Subscribing is free, and it really helps my business. It tells YouTube you guys like what you're seeing from my channel, and you want to see more. All right, now I'm just going to go to the bottom of his paws. We're going to go around his his paws and kind of up his cheeks, just like we did with the little porcupine and raccoon. I'm going to go a little bit on the top of his head too. And that is with our dark pecan pie. And then we'll just blend it out with our light pecan pie. Just kind of go over that, go over those darker areas and blend them out. They should blend pretty easily if you do it immediately on top of the light pecan pie, because the paper's already wet. All right, so we have him nice and colored and we have him all die cut. So we're ready. So let me zoom back out so we can complete this card. All right, so we have all of our little grass pieces. We have all of our little animals. Now we do need to adhere all of these flat because, let's go back to our first one. Because if you have dimensionals in here, it's going to really pile it up. So we are going to adhere all these flat. So I'm going to start by just sticking our little animals onto our little grass pieces, just like that. And then we'll just stick some adhesive all over these. Just like this. And his little hand popped up, so we'll need to make sure that's down. And since my little grass pieces are too long, I'm just going to trim them as we go. Just like that. We'll just trim that. So that's number one. All right, so we'll pull this up. We have our little porcupine next. So we'll do the same thing. He just kind of gets to sit over the edge there. And we'll just take some adhesive and stick that on. That on the back of him too, just like that. Make sure he's nice and set. All right, and then our third panel will be the greeting that we've already done. This worked out really well because we had 3 little animals and the greeting, so that makes our 4 panels, so it's perfect. All right, let's do it. Let's just put some adhesive on the back of this, and we'll put some adhesive on the back of him, and then we'll stick them together. See if that works. Either way works. Doesn't matter. All right, and this. Pop his little paws up. Oh, so cute. And we'll just stick him down. Just like, oops. Hold on. All right, I'm having trouble with the bear. There we go. All right. Trim that piece off. Okay, so we have all 4 of our panels here. So we're going to flip them over. I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of these. And these will get adhered down to our card. Man, words are hard today, guys. All right, so we have all 4 of our pieces. Let's bring our card back in. So I'm going to start from the bottom. So we're going to start with our bear piece. So let's pull him up. So we have our bear. Pull this all the way down. And you should get a nice little border around each of those balmy blue pieces. And then we'll go in with our greeting. And then our little porcupine is next. You can do these in any order. If you want to put the greeting on the front, I mean, by all means, there's no real rhyme or reason to this. If you like the bear the best, put the bear on the front. I mean, you do you with this. All right, there is our fun waterfall card. Isn't that fun? It is so fun. I could play with this all day long. All right, finishing touch, we are going to add some of our iridescent discs here. Remember, if your order is over $150 to get this class to go for free, you're going to get a full package of these. And there are a ton of these in a package. I'll flip this over and see if it says on the back how many you get. You will get enough to complete your cards if your order is under $150, but if your order is over $150, you get a whole package of these, and there are 200 little dots in here, so you get a ton of them. All right, guys, that completes day 4. That completes the whole class for the Peekaboo Forest class. Let's bring in all the cards again. So we have our waterfall card. I'm going to move this one out of the way. We have our Z-fold expanding tree card, which is just so cute. We have our little porcupine card, and then we have our little pop-up bear card. So cute. So I hope you love this class to go. I absolutely love this bundle. This will not be the last time you see me play with this bundle. So I hope you absolutely love this. Make sure to place your online orders by March 31st to get this class to go. You have between March 15th and March 31st to get this class to go for free. So if you want this one, head to my online store today to make that purchase. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys later. Bye.